Alright everybody, hello and welcome. As always, I'm Sean. This is In The Mixer. Happy Friday, wherever in the world you happen to be watching from. It's episode 190 of our FC Isle of Man series. Now, full disclosure, next season that we do in the game is probably going to be the last one in our Isle of Man journey. We're hopefully going to get through to 200 episodes. I think that kind of brings us up to the end of the first week of November. My hope is the week after that we have the Football Manager beta to go and play through and start bringing you guys fantastic content for that. We'll announce our beta save the 1st of November. You can go and check out our giveaway video for FM20 to get more information on that. But we're getting into the final parts of the series, and that starts today with the conclusion to this season. The title is on the line. We need to win our games to make sure that we can potentially lift the Premier Division trophy on the last day of the season. Let's jump straight back in and see how we've gone. So, as you guys can see, and if you haven't watched our previous episodes this week, what are you doing? Go and check those out. We are sitting top of the division by a singular point ahead of Manchester City. We do have a superior goal difference. We've got the better winning record. We've got the better head-to-head record as well for the first time in forever against Manchester City. But we have two very big challenges, potentially two bigger challenges than what they have in the last two games of the season. We're first going to play Chelsea away from home at Stamford Bridge, and then away at Bournemouth, who are currently sitting 6th in the division at the Callum Wilson Stadium, which still gets me every time I see it. Looking at City's games, they've got West Ham, who we of course played in yesterday's episode, beat comfortably 3-1 away from home at the London Stadium. Then they've got Swansea, who are in 19th, already relegated, nothing to play for, away at the Liberty Stadium in Swansea. So really, I expect them to get 6 points, which means that it's critical that we get 6 points as well. The squad is pretty much full strength. Furkan Yilmaz is the only knock. We're not going to worry too much about that anyway, because he wouldn't start with Lucas Gabriel fully fit. But we really need to try and make sure that we get a decent result today. Chelsea, I think, is the bigger test. Even though they are lower down in the division, they have some phenomenal players. It wasn't that long ago that they were challenging us for Premier Division titles. Like, they finished second to us the last 2 years that we've won it. Last year, they dropped off a bit, down to 7th. This year, it looks like they're going to struggle to finish in the top half, really, for the first time throughout their history in the game universe, as things currently stand. So it will be interesting for them. They're managed by Thomas Lemar, which I think is just absolutely hilarious, but they still have some phenomenal players. They've still got fantastic facilities. They are a very, very strong side. Don't let that 12th position currently fool you. They have given us some trouble before in the past as well. Looking first at our lineup, we're going with Mancini in goal, Esteban and Gasmi is the defensive partnership, Carlos Andre at left wing back, Lucas Gabriel at right wing back, Henri Lanka midfield alongside Taylor, Harold is the left winger, he wears the captain's armband today, Castro on the right, our leading assist maker for the season, Martinez, the big man up top, plays as the deep lying forward, and Olsen, our leading scorer this season, leads the line up top. It is pretty much a full strength lineup. We're going attacking, we're going to go after. If we're going down at least trying to score. That's always been our motto throughout the course of this series and this save. Looking at Chelsea's lineup, it is still very strong. They've got some phenomenal players. Calcani in goal, wonderful goalkeeper. 10 caps for the Italian national side. He's getting older now at 34. He has dropped off a little bit in terms of his overall ability. We at 347 conceded in 364 games for Chelsea. A very, very good record across all competitions. Scovio is an elite centre-back, or he's a veteran centre-back now. He was world-class for a while. He has dropped off a little bit, down to 3-star current and potential ability, but still a very, very good player. Full Italian international, 95 caps to his name. Misbar's quality, Bell's quality, Gallinan's quality. Demiroz is the one we have to watch out for in midfield. He will sit a little bit deeper and just ping balls over the top for their front three. 4-star current and potential ability for the Dutch international. He has given us trouble in seasons prior as well. A very good player. Alongside him are Luna and Russo. Russo's a full English international. He's a full Italian international. 4-star current and potential ability at 33 years of age. Very impressive stuff. He has previously been a 5-star ability player. Just phenomenal mental attributes. He's a DLP by trade. I think they're using him as an advanced playmaker, just judging by the positioning where he sits. I think the DLP is Demiroz. And then they've got 3 up front, and it's a 3 up front that we're very familiar with, all of them having scored against us in previous seasons. Paolucci, 4.5-star current ability, has previously been a 5-star player at 30 years of age now. He's a full Italian international as well, with a fair few caps to his game. Has a very strong scoring record against us as well. He can play as an inside forward. They're using him as an advanced forward, it looks like today. Fleshman will play as a central one. He's their leading scorer for the season. 33 goals in 49 appearances. Very impressive stuff for the German international. Again, 4.5-star current and potential ability. A very strong front three. And then Christian Furr, another German who we've played against a few different times. Back when he was at Red Bull Leipzig, he gave us some trouble in the Europa League and the Champions League throughout the course of that competition. 4-star current and potential ability for him. He's a very good player as well. That front three, if they get him behind, we are going to be in some trouble today. So even though they're in 12th, even though they're not having the best season, even though it's an inexperienced coach in Lamar, we should probably beat them, but we are going to be challenged at the same time as well. Passionately, we're going to say media have given a lot of credit lately. We're not going to worry too much about any responses to that. Everyone has responded fantastically well. And we're also going to keep one eye just sneakily on the Manchester City game. They are, of course, playing West Ham away from home. If West Ham could do us a massive favour, that would be huge. But really, we need to focus on winning this game and continuing our position at the top of the league. Gabriel comes forward now, cuts inside, loses out, but Henri's there to tidy up. Carlos Andre gets beyond a couple of defenders and squares the ball across Misbah and eventually clears it off the line. Olsen was in and around the area to tap it home if he hadn't. Throw in, left-hand side, Carlos Andre to take. Good little start here in the opening 12 minutes, couple of highlights in a row. Taylor with the switch out to Lucas Gabriel, wide right area. Cut back for Olsen, it pinballs around, and Kalkani again with a good save. Pushes it out beyond for the corner kick. Gabriel takes towards Esteban near post, similar goal to the one that he scored, I think, in yesterday's episode, maybe the day before. Carlos Andre, though, will recover and the highlight comes to an end. Opening 20 minutes, no further highlights, but Gabriel has picked up a yellow card that we're going to have to be wary of. Esteban's now picked one up as well. Castro with a deep free kick towards back post. Gasby's in there and the flick-on header just over the crossbar. Looks like City have taken a lead in their match because we've dropped down to second position as things currently stand. We're into the last few minutes of the first half, so we're going to get creative. Can we try and snag a goal before half-time and ask a question of this Chelsea defence? No further highlights as we head into 2 minutes of additional time, and the referee calls half-time. So at half-time, 5 shots, 2 on target, 34% possession for Chelsea. We haven't seen any highlights for them yet. 15 shots, 8 on target, 66% of the ball for the Isle of Man. Passionately, we are going to say, media have given a lot of credit lately. It hasn't quite worked, so I'm going to tell everybody that I've got faith in their ability to make a difference. And they all seem to have responded positively, which is good. There are a couple of 6.5, 6.6s that we're going to have to be wary of as we get towards the hour mark. But as we so often do, we're going to give it to the hour before we look at making any subs or changes. City are currently 1-0 up against West Ham. West Ham not doing us any favours today. Got to throw in here, first one of the second half. Lucas Gabriel to take on the right-hand side. Into Henri, back to Gabriel again. Good ball to Olsen, who gets goal side and just flashes a drive beyond the far post, only an inch away. We're going to hit pause there and we're going to make some changes based on match ratings. Olsen's not played particularly well. Rivera's going to come off the bench. Martinez also struggling. Schaefer will come off. And should we roll the dice? Should we do the third sub? No, I don't want to risk it. I think as soon as we do that third sub, Esteban or Gabriel end up getting a second yellow card and we go down to 10 men. Assertively, I'm going to say I've got faith in you. And they both have responded positively. Both have been fantastic servants for the club over the last few seasons. It's 2 new men up top, 2 fresh legs, and we've also used a get creative shout, which most players seem inspired by. Carlos Andre with the throw-in. It's headed away by Gannon. Now Fur, back to Scovio. Schaefer nearly wins it back in a good area, but Gannon recovers. Schaefer again. Kovacic with a long ball forward to Fleshman. First real time we've seen Chelsea get goal side, and it's a good drive, but Mancini with a good save pushes it out for the corner kick. Can we maybe use another get creative shout in a moment here? We're through 70 minutes. Russo with the ball in, and have they just given a foul and a penalty against Paul Harold after I just left Paul Harold on the pitch? It's going to be Fleshman from the penalty spot, and Mancini saved one for us earlier in the week, and Fleshman's missed it. Okay, so we've gotten away with one there. We're immediately taking off Paul Harold. That is ridiculous. Mateo comes on for him. We're going to hit that he has the ability. We're going to hit play, and then we're also going to use, hopefully, a get creative shout in a moment when it allows us to. Nobody's responded. Oh, everyone responded inspired, which is great. We need to try and find a goal here, though, if we want to go back above City. Throw in, right-hand side, Gannon to take. Luna, cut back here to Russo at the base of midfield. Out to Luna again. Back to Russo. Across to Dung. Reverse pass to Fur, who's gotten goal side. Mancini again with the huge save. Our keeper is keeping us in it at the moment. Forced out again for a corner. Maybe we need to adjust to positive just because of this little run of highlights that they're having. Scovio with the header just over the crossbar. So we're going to adjust to positive and we're going to throw in a demand more shout. There is an immediate highlight here in possession from the goal kick. Taylor with the ball, looks long forward. Misbah cuts it out. Castro does very well to switch a play towards Mateo, who bursts past one. Can he find the finish? Kalkani again with a good save. I've left that shout up and cut off half of that highlight for you guys. Apologies about that. I just want to get a demand more shout in. Lucas Gabriel goes short to Mateo. Cut back to Gabriel again, and he gets closed down by the defence. It's going to be another corner. Please don't play the short corner if there's a man there. Ball in towards Schaefer. It's cleared away, and then Esteban gets the chance. Kalkani with a fantastic double save. We're going to use a demand more shout. There's an immediate highlight. Mancini in possession. Gasmi, switch out towards Castro on the right-hand side. Reverse pass to Rivera in the channel. He's going to want to get back on his left foot. Switch out towards Mateo at the edge of the area. Closed down by the defence. Gabriel cuts it back to Schaefer. It's cleared by Kalkani off the line, and then Dung gets it away. Has it crossed the line? No, it hasn't. I don't know why they show us this fucking highlight every single episode, but they do. 5 additional minutes to be added on at the end of the match. Please, boys, can we find something? It looks like West Ham might have equalised late on there as well. We're going to check that out in a moment. But 0-0 in the end. We've kind of folded a little bit against the 12th best side in the division. 11 shots, 5 on target, 39% possession, 28 shots, 14 on target, 61% of the ball for the Isle of Man. That missed penalty is absolutely huge for us. Imagine if we had lost this game 1-0, I would be in tears, no doubt. Passionately, we'll say, or calmly, let's say, we should have won that match, and most have responded positively, which is good. The weird part is we've still got the better placed side, Bournemouth, to come away from home in the last game of the season. I think West Ham equalised, which is huge for us. No, they haven't. City have won in the 95th minute to a penalty, because of course they've won to a 95th minute penalty. Lua Barbosa nearly turned himself into an Isle of Man hero. Ex-player, Adam Driver himself, found an equaliser on 67 minutes, I think it said there. And then a penalty given in the 95th minute puts City top of the table going into the last day of the season. We are now reliant on other teams to get results for us. Passionately, we're going to say superb in the number of quality chances for Henry. I think that's his third or fourth Player of the Match award, or Man of the Match award in a row. He's having a fantastic end to the season. It's a shame that nobody else is really helping him out. And now we are reliant on Swansea, 19th place Swansea, getting some sort of result on the final day of the season to get anything. Abdesimar's missing from training. He can go fuck himself. We're selling him in the off-season. All right, magic of editing. Let's jump forward to the game against, who are we playing? Bournemouth. Now, I've lost the plot. All right, jumping forward a week. Last game of the season. We have to get a win. We have to hope that Swansea gets something against Manchester City to not having fucking bottled the title to a 95th minute penalty. All right, so we're going to go positive. We're going to drop off a little bit more. We're going to invite Bournemouth onto us, and then hopefully that will allow a little bit more space in behind. You can see there's a couple of players that have dropped below 7s for their average match rating. I nearly said ratch mating, which isn't a thing. So we're going to keep an eye on that. But I'm going to have faith with the strongest lineup, the lineup that has gotten us to this point. But in reality, if we bottle it from here, there'll be no living it down. It would be a horrific way to finish one of our last few seasons in Football Manager 2020. And I don't think it's a coincidence that I was critical of Football Manager 2020 and things I want to see improved in the game over this past weekend. But that's conspiracy theory for another day. Unchanged lineup for us. Bournemouth, of course, playing a 4-2-3-1 because every club in the Premier Division plays a 4-2-3-1 in FM20. They've got some good players. Ibrahim is their captain at the back here. Decent, 3-star current and potential ability. Came through at Atletico Madrid. Was at Mönchengladbach for a bit. Has been at Bournemouth now for 5 seasons. Full Nigerian international with quite a few caps to his name. Very good tackling ability. Decent physical traits as well. In midfield, the highest average rated player, Aaron Maloney, 32-year-old US international. Came through at LAFC, interestingly enough. They come up with a couple of wonder kids in and around different parts of the world. World-class midfielder, apparently, even though he's only 3-star current and potential ability, that remains to be seen. And leading the line up top, a man that scores against us quite regularly, Martin Martinez, 28-year-old Chilean forward, 49 goals in 76 caps for the Chilean national side, 3.5-star current and potential ability. He is a very decent advanced forward option. It would not surprise me to see him get in behind a couple of times against our defence. We should be getting a result in today's game. Passionately, we're going to say media have given a lot of credit lately, put on a worthy display, and then we're going to passionately tell the front two that we've got faith in them. If they score, we'll be absolutely fine. If they don't, it becomes a very difficult prospect, as we saw again in the game against Chelsea. And we are going to sneakily keep an eye on the result here, just between Swansea and Man City. It would be a huge surprise if Swansea do us any sort of favour, given that they are down in 19th in the division. But you never know. Every side has a bad day. Just as I've said that, City have taken a 1-0 lead. We're going to bottle the league on the final couple of games of the season, aren't we? I can already feel it coming. Henry here to Taylor. And now Henry, good switch out towards Carlos Andre. Let's at least win our game, boys. Forward here, Larrea to Henry. Back to Gasmi. Martinez has won it back on halfway, tackling Gasmi. And he's found the finish. It's all gone to shit. It's all absolutely gone to shit. And I can't complain too much, but we were in a great run of form. We were okay yesterday. Even, I think, losing that game against Leicester, was it? But, we just reload the game today, and then all of a sudden, after scoring, I think 27 consecutive games, we have an 0-0 draw. And now, against Bournemouth, our defender decides to get tackled on halfway, and their defender, of course, Martin Martinez, runs the entire length of the pitch, or runs the entire half of the pitch and slides it into the far corner. Carlos Andre throwing to Martinez. I shouldn't complain, because we've ridden our luck. Chelsea did miss that penalty in the last match, but, I feel like maybe if I had just yesterday recorded 2 episodes, we probably would have won. against Chelsea, and we probably would have won against Bournemouth. Coming forward here again, Denley with the ball on the left back side, but Castro's done very well to tackle him. Wide right area, gets a strike away, but straight at Lucas Rakvael in the Bournemouth goal. I'm not going to live this one down for a while, my lads. Harold with the corner, goes to Castro. Can he find the cutback? Harold's there again. Looks for the cutback on the wide area, but closed down well by the defence. It'll go out for another corner. Can I use a demand more shout with a couple of minutes remaining in the first half here? Ball towards near post, headed away by Lee. Now Martinez turns on halfway. He's got the pace to get away from a player as well. Taylor and Henry tracking him very well and sticking with him. Cut back to Denley, the overlapping fullback. Sends it out wide right to Lee. Sends Rizzy wide right area, and he runs the ball out of play. Thankfully, we've been let off the hook a little bit there. Throw in, right-hand side. Rizzy in possession. Someone's got to go to him on halfway. Good cut out there by Taylor in midfield, who's picked up a yellow card that we'll have to be mindful of. He's got no one running around for him, so he just ends up going the strike from a distance for himself. And as half-time's called, 4 shots, 2 on target, 48% possession for Bournemouth, 7 shots, 3 on target, 52% possession for the Isle of Man. Aggressively, we are going to say, show me something else in the second half. And then as we're doing that, we're going to switch back to our positive or our attacking structure just to try and get everyone through. Look at that. Arnaud Henry, 6.1. Like, what could he have possibly done? He's been fantastic over the last month. What could he possibly have done wrong to be on a 6.1? Gasmy on a 6.3. He did fuck up for the goal. Martinez on a 6.4. Apparently, we've forgotten how to play football. All the pressure of the occasion is getting to us. They're not getting to Man City. They're 2-0 up in their match. Backstick header there from Rizzy. Mancini does well to save and hold. Carlos Andre finds Paul Harold, wide left area. Cut back ball. Pujic with the header away. Maloney. Now to Henry. Lucas Gabriel. Tries to beat the man, edge of the area, gets a strike away. Pretty poor effort though. Did well in the first 2 parts, beating the man, working the space, but then just can only screw the shot beyond far post. Esteban in possession, all the way back to Mancini. We're through 56 minutes now. We'll make a couple of changes in a moment. Gasmy out to Lucas Gabriel. Good switch, and we've got 2v1 on the right if we work this correctly. Doesn't release the ball in time. Denley takes it off him. He had Castro wide open in front of him to play into the box. Maloney, now Pulic, out to Beck. Maloney, ball over the top for Martinez. He scored once already from a similar area. Good save that time from Mancini, though. Pushes it out for the corner. Are we going to see the resulting corner now? It's going to be Maloney to take for Bournemouth. Esteban, good powerful header away. Maloney will get another chance at it, though. Tries to cross it in early. Castro does very well. Gets out to the man. Closes it down for the throw-in. Corner, Harold to take towards near post. Martinez has pulled one back. 23rd goal of the season for the Big Mexican. If you guys could get the ball, that would be great. 30 minutes to go. We need to try and find a winner, and we need to hope that Swansea pull off some sort of miracle away or at home. It's a good, kind of acrobatic, not quite overhead kick, kind of like a reverse volley almost. We're through the hour mark. We're going to hit pause, and let's make some changes. They're saying Henry's played poorly. I don't know. I don't really think that's the case, but that's fine. Gasmy's also had a poor game, apparently. Warburton will come on for him. Max Olsen struggling. We're going to hold off on that last sub, though, for the last 10 minutes. I know as soon as I make 3 subs, we're going to go down to 10 men, or someone's going to get an injury or something like that. We usually get creative shout. Everyone seems inspired, which is good, but we really need to put our foot down now and try and get a second goal to take an advantage. Swansea have pulled the goal back. Love it in the 70th minute. Could they do the unthinkable and potentially get us back on top of the table? We've got one more sub as well. Olsen has struggled, so we're going to bring on Rivera to try and be the hero. Passionately, we're going to tell him, I have faith in you, and he's responded fantastically well. And then we're going to use a get creative shout. Different from a demand more. Get creative, boys. Let's try and create something. If we get I tell you what, if Swansea Swansea have fallen 3-1 behind. It's all gone to shit, boys. It's all gone to shit in the last episode of the season. Harold goes near post. Martinez again flicks it on. It's running across the line. We managed to scramble it home from Esteban in the 91st minute. A huge goal for us, but I don't think Swansea are going to do us the favour. I think Man City have going to run away with it in the last few minutes. Good goal from Esteban. Again, great work from Martinez. Good header back into the similar area where he scored from first time, and it's a good tackle. He somehow morphs through the keeper. I didn't know he had superhuman abilities, but he does find a way. Why are we seeing this highlight? Why would anybody possibly care? 4-1 now in the City game. They are going to win the title, and we've bottled it in the last game, or last 2 games of the season. Santana out wide right to Castro. Can we put a little icing on this cake, boys? Let's finish the season in a strong position. No, it's closed down, and now Olazala comes forward for Bournemouth. He's got bodies around him as well. Look, a square ball. Mancini's there. Martinez is there again. Shut down by the defence, and thankfully it's brought back for an offside. Last highlight should be surely we're 5 minutes through what was going to be 4 minutes added on. Mancini to take. Goes short to Warburton. Long ball forward to Martinez. Flick on for Rivera. Tries to beat a man, edge of the area. Now Castro pinballs around. He gets a strike away. Lucas Raphael with a good save. I don't know why the game is continuing. It's 4 minutes additional time, which we're through. The referee calls full time. It's a win in the last game of the season, 2-1, but we have absolutely bottled the Premier Division. 16 shots, 9 on target, 51% possession for Bournemouth. 18 shots, 7 on target, 49% possession for the Isle of Man. I'm going to say calmly, you've done brilliantly to come back and win that. I guess that's really all I can say to them. But what a shit way for the curtain to come down on the Premier Division season. We finish in second spot, 1 point behind Manchester City. 91 points for them, 38 games played, 29 wins, 4 draws, 5 defeats, 55 goal difference, and 91 points. For the Isle of Man, 38 games played, 28 wins, 6 draws, 4 defeats, plus 60 goal difference, and 90 points. Just fucking devastating, I'm not going to lie. Final day heartache, yeah, of course it is. City win the Premier Division title. Fuck yourself, Manchester City. Let's jump forward a day and look at the end of season awards and whatever else. God, I hate this game sometimes. So a couple of awards. Olsen has won the top goal scorer award for the division. 20 goals in 33 appearances in the Premier Division. Very fantastic result for a 20-year-old wonder-kid player. Henri gets the Young Player of the Season. We're going to give him a bit of support as well. He has taken it very well. Always good to see. Still only 24. It feels like we've had him for forever. Carlos Andre, Esteban, Brad Taylor, and Olsen make the Players Team of the Year. It's weird that Taylor makes it into the Players Team of the Year, but Henri, who won the Young Player of the Season, doesn't. I find that very interesting. Dominated by City mostly, and Nacho, the one other appearance maker from Manchester United. I'm not getting emotional, I'm just hiccuping. The squad itself hasn't done too badly, and we've put together a very good lineup. I just don't know what's been different about this season. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank's linked with a job at Wolves. That's fine. He can go if he wants. I don't really care. Let's just get to these end of season awards so I can go through the highlights and whatever else of the year. Where's I don't know what's taking so long, but where are our end of season highlights? Where's our team of the season, our overall team of the decade, all that sort of stuff? How far have I got to go? Transfer spend in the Premier Division, we are down £70 million, but that's fine. I don't really care about that. Maybe they're waiting for the FA Cup final, which is being played today between Leeds and Leicester. Shame that we couldn't make it through to the final of that one. Leeds have won it 2-0. Is that what we're waiting for? Here we go, finally here. All right, so a couple of inductees into the overall best 11. Bruno Castro joins on the right-hand side, which is good. He deserves that. Current players include Arnaud Henri, David Lynn, Paul Harold over on the left wing, Carlos Andre, Esteban, Lucas Gabriel, Mancini in goal as well. Very, very strong lineup. Some old faces though. Austin Samuels still in there for his fantastic season. 98 goals and 122 appearances for us as we were coming up through League 2, League 1 and the Championship. Lua Barbosa, who we played against in the West Ham game a couple of games ago. He's in there at the number 10. George Escobar, who's currently at Fulham, who I think have been relegated this season. He's in there as well. His fantastic defensive displays when we came up from the Championship. Very important stuff. Ruben Martinez in the squad as well. That's good to see. Abdesamad's in the squad from the most recent lineup. Tim Kubis is in there. He's at Augsburg over in Germany. He was our keeper when we first came up into the Premier Division. He was magnificent for us. Joel Connolly from forever ago. We had him 2021. So what would that have been like? The 8th tier of English football? We had him for a couple of seasons. He had a good run for us. 145 appearances throughout his career. We need to get some better right backs, man, if he's still appearing in it. Simeon Ure's still in there. Franz Wolf is still in there. Still playing at Portsmouth. Real first wonder kid that we had. And our captain when we got promoted into the Premier League. Good to see a few of the old faces in there. Always good to see them. Team of the season is pretty much what you'd expect. Our strongest lineup throughout the course of the year that we played. Bradley Taylor got the goal of the season. We'll have a look at that one now. It was against Southampton. I don't remember the game. Southampton did knock us out of the FA Cup this season. Good ball forward here to Olsen in the channel. Can he find the cutback? Taylor's on the edge of the area. It's a first-time strike. It's a decent effort. It didn't exactly fly into the back of the net. It kind of nearly died on the goal line, but still a decent volleyed strike for him and a good little celebration and a 6-1 victory. How do we beat them 6-1 in the league and then lose to them 1-0 in the FA Cup? That's absolutely ridiculous. Vision and expectations, it looks like they're not going to sack me, which is fantastic. But we'll only be in 4 competitions next season. No chance to try and win 5 trophies or 6 trophies in a year. We're going to go after all 4 of them, I can promise you that. Squad dynamics are good. End of season team meeting. Let's just say passionately rested because we're going to win the title next year. Let's go with that. And everyone's responded fantastically well, which is good to see. Kozlov won goal of the year while he's out on loan. We're probably going to sell him, to be completely honest. Smorenberg has ended up at Porto, who was the old superstar striker at Ajax back in the day. He's been at Porto for a couple of seasons, getting decent goal scoring awards for him as well. There are a few players that we're going to let go of during this offseason. Lynn's probably going to go, Abdesamad and Richard, just because they're all unhappy with their playing time. The guys that are out on loan will probably go as well, to be completely honest. So Kozlov, Miller, Abelan, Balde, they're probably all going to move on. Maybe Balde comes back in. Maybe we let go of Rivera, maybe. I don't know. We'll figure that out as we go. But we've got a lot to think about going into the final season with FC Isle of Man. If we look at our performance in the Premier Division, Max Olsen leading scorer, Arnaud Henry highest average rating for the season. Lucas Gabriel was up there for yellow cards. Like, there's a lot that we do very, very well, particularly when we look at like the team detailed stats. Our possession, 4th best in the division. Penalty taking, we're good at. Headers 1 is fine because we don't actually play the ball in the air that much. Our form's good. Our home form's excellent. Our away form's excellent as well. I don't know how the hell we've lost this season. Haven't lost in 10 consecutive games. Even Man City don't have that good a record. Most goals in the season. Cross completions up there as well. Full crosses completed, done. Goals from corners is up there as well. Chances created, we're miles ahead of the rest of the teams in the division. Fouls against, we're miles ahead of the teams in the rest of the division. Dribbles per game, again, doing very well. Defensively, we're not the top side, but we aren't too bad. 4th best defensive record in the competition. Maybe that's where we need to improve. Maybe I need to break the bank and go and get like another world-class central defender or something to that effect. But there's a couple of different things think we need to look at if we want to try and compete. Next season, 4 trophies. That's what we're going after. That's what we're going to try and do. As always, guys, thank you so much for continuing to support the channel. I'm very much looking forward to Football Manager 2021 and the continued growth of the channel and our future series as well. If you want to help commiserate our final day bottling of the league, as it'll be known in the thumbnail and whatever else, please drop a like on this video. Please subscribe to the channel. It does help us continue to grow, get bigger, get a larger audience, larger community, helps us do more fun stuff in and around the FM20 community as well. And we can only pick ourselves back up again for next week, the final season with FC Isle of Man, our final season in FM20 as well. I cannot wait to get through it, and hopefully you guys will enjoy us for the ride as well. As always, I've been Sean. I'll see you all again in the mixer.